Hello and welcome back to the Student StarCraft AI Tournament Sunday broadcast. This is Nightcat and I will be your host for today. Today we will be casting the winners bracket round 2. The bots that lose today will drop down to the losers bracket to face off against the bots that won in yesterday's cast, with the winners advancing to play each other. The games today will be best of 5, and we'll be starting today off with Stardust vs CrazyOp, so let's dive right in. The first game between these two have us on Circuit Breakers, with Stardust spawning as the brown Protoss up in the top right, and CrazyOp spawning as the purple Protoss up on the top left. So I'm excited to see how Stardust deals with the cannon contain that CrazyOp likes to put up here, usually at the natural or in the natural, depending on the map. Though it looks like CrazyOp is starting off with an in-base pylon, and I'm just kind of waiting for, okay, there's the probe out to scout, and it looks like it's going to the right place. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, it is going in the right direction. Go ahead and pull up the production tab real quick here. You can see that the forge has started for CrazyOp. The pylon has started, and actually, I just realized that there already was a scout over in Stardust space. So CrazyOp knew where, at least I think that is, or no, that is Stardust's own probe. So CrazyOp found where Stardust is and is now going ahead and placing down its cannons. Here, it's getting the contain set up, and so I'm curious to see how Stardust will deal with this with its Dragoons, and if it will be able to effectively break this cannon main here. Meanwhile, I'm not sure if Stardust's probe was able to find Crazy, or if it did and returned home. Kind of lost sight of it. I was trying to keep track of it on the minimap down here, but I lost it. We do have the first Dragoon coming out, and the second, not Stargate, but Gateway is now down for Stardust. And now the cannons are kind of creeping up a little bit. I don't know if I really like that positioning too much. Going ahead and being able to get a fire or some shots off there on those unfinished cannons, because yeah, I didn't really like that because they weren't covered here by these further back cannons. I would like to see this probe maybe plop a few more cannons over here, or even, actually yeah, at this point back here, because now this front is at risk. Losing one Dragoon, and actually I like that that one Dragoon stayed there because it really did not have a good escape route. It was just going to take a lot more shots. Might as well try and get a little bit more damage off, but that damage is going to soon be healed by those shields, slowly regenerating. Now a larger force coming in to break this cannon front. Behind it, CrazyOp is taking natural, able to take one cannon out. And then a second cannon falls. It looks like CrazyOp has backed off from the cannon contain, letting it fall. Nope, I was wrong, trying to place another cannon, but a little too late. And this cannon contain is going to go ahead and fall. And behind it, CrazyOp taking another assimilator, but doesn't really have much of an army. Getting a cannon here, and now sending out 3 probes to somewhere. They're going to go ahead and meet these Dragoons and choose to fall back here. Although, in a way that they could bypass the Dragoons there, so perhaps going to try and set up that contain again, but really needed to get some kind of defense at home, because now these Dragoons are just able to free reign in here. And really, if those 3 cannons had been a little bit better placed, and not so close to the ramp and away from the other completed cannons, that contain probably would have lasted a little bit longer, but now this natural is going to go ahead and fall. And Dragoon's going to go ahead and move up to the main here, leaving that unpowered, or no, the pylon and gateway that are down there to be, while that takes out the rest of the economy. And now we'll go ahead and clean up this main. There was another pylon and cannon built over here, so the probe that managed to get out from the group of 3 was going to try and set up that contain again. Looks like CrazyOp was going for the Dark Templar tech that it goes for after that cannon contain. So unfortunately just wasn't able to get to it in time. I think just because of that unfortunate cannon placement. And with that, Stardust is going to go ahead and take the lead 1-0, and we will jump into game 2. So So for game 2, we find ourselves on Empire of the Sun, with Stardust spawning as the orange Protoss up at the top left of the map, and CrazyOp spawning as the yellow Protoss down at the bottom right. So I'm excited to see how the contain is going to play out this time, where CrazyOp is going to be placing that pylon and the cannons. Hopefully, for CrazyOp's sake, we get a little bit better placement this time. And we get to see if those Dark Templar are able to hit the timing that they're trying for in order to hold that contain. Now, CrazyOp has the Forge started. There's the Scout from Stardust, as well as the in-base Scout, making sure that there's no in-base funny business going on here. Now, we do have the initial probe going on. Oh, we actually... Okay, so we've got in-base cannons going for CrazyOp this time. CrazyOp scouting, it looks like the center of the map, doing a cross scout here. And go ahead and find Stardust with the first scout. And we'll see if CrazyOp decides to... Oh, now it's going to go ahead and get chased by the probe here. So it looks like we're going to not see the cannon contain this time. Or from CrazyOp, rather. So I'm interested to see how this one is going to work out. So we got 3 cannons in the main. We got our gateway now. We're getting our gas. Meanwhile, Stardust has the gateway, is getting the cybernetics core, and a second gateway already has its gas. And now once this cybernetics core is complete, we don't have the minerals for it yet, but I was expecting to see the goon range start, but instead we're just getting our goons first. Now the goon range is going to go ahead and start. CrazyOp, meanwhile, is getting his cybernetics core as well at this point. I'm going to go ahead and clean up that probe scout there. So this is really cool to me to be seeing CrazyOp mixing it up a little bit here. I was expecting, another attempt at the pylon, or sorry, at the cannon contain, and that's not what we're getting here. So I'm excited to see what this build is going to do. Now we do have the 3 Dragoons underway, so it looks like this has turned into a 4-gate Dragoon build, which I think might be more than enough to crush this, but we do have an additional cannon now morphing in, so we'll have 5 cannons here. Maybe not the best layout for them. Oh, sorry, that was a pylon. Probably could have told that if I was looking at the production tab. But let's see here how this is going to play out. So Stardust has the good contain here. Getting some shots off on the Dragoon, so taking some damage there. Really probably should be back behind the cannons. Really poking out here against the larger army. Probably not the best idea. Those Zealots unfortunately got cut off there by the wall. Now the Dragoon's feeling confident that they can take these Dragoons and these cannons out. And yeah, unfortunately with that cannon layout, they just weren't able to support each other. That's one of the problems with cannons versus having Dragoons for your defense, is that, well, for one thing, the cannons are stationary, and if they're not positioned right, they can't support each other. Now, the probes are being pulled off the line and just being slaughtered here, and unfortunately, I can't really do a lot, so I'll go ahead and take the overlay away with this base being in the bottom right. But you can see that kind of gives away the timer, but maybe I'll cover that up in post. But yeah, so unfortunately, then all the probes have fallen. There is a Dark Templar out, though, now, and Stardust getting the cannons in response does have the observatory, and actually there were some probes left, so CrazyOp able to stretch this out just a little bit more, but really Stardust here, actually I'm just going to go ahead and leave that off for this match. Stardust able to get that observer out, and now it's with the army, and now that army's just going to be able to come back before CrazyOp can really recover, and I think be able to put this match away. As we can see here, the army is morphing ahead, or not morphing, but marching ahead. Actually got ahead of the observer, but losing quite a few goons to it, but in the end, now the observer is here, so these Dark Templar are going to fall. So that Dark Templar tech did come out in time to sort of delay the inevitable, but with all of the... But it was only the inevitable because of all those probe deaths, really. If it had not lost as many probes as it had, it would have been in a more stable place instead of needing to recover and stabilize. And because it needed to recover and stabilize, Stardust was just able to get that observer out and into the battlefield in time. So Stardust will go up 2-0. And so we'll go ahead and jump into Game 3 with CrazyOp fighting to stay in the winner's bracket. Game 3 of this series has us up, or match, depending on the word you want to use, has us with Stardust spawning as the blue Protoss down at the bottom left here on Benzene, and CrazyOp spawning as the red Protoss up at the top right here. So a two-player map. Both opponents know where the other is right off the bat. No need to actually scout for where they are, and we do see an early probe coming out for CrazyOp, so I suspect we're going to see that that cannon contain again. Now, if CrazyOp loses this, they will drop down to the loser's bracket and go up against Steamhammer. If they are able to win the next 3 games, then they'll be able to knock Stardust down to the loser's bracket to face Steamhammer. So we did see a little tap there on the probe, and once that probe was out of vision, we do have CrazyOp going ahead and starting up the contain. Now, contain back this far is going to let Stardust take its natural if it so chooses, but we've only been seeing one base play from Stardust in this matchup, where it's going with a 4-gate goon build. So this will be interesting to see. And again, it's doing this chain of cannons here where... Okay, that's going to help be able to protect this. But Dragoons are getting a lot of range where they're going to be able to hit cannons without them really being able to support each other, especially because of this wall that's here, unfortunately. But now it is starting to move forward, but these are both pylons, so those are going to be pretty exposed. Meanwhile, we are seeing just our standard Stardust play here, where we've got our Cybernetics core. The 2 gateways are now down. We were starting to pump our Dragoons. Pretty soon we should see a 3rd and a 4th gateway. But these cannons are pretty nicely placed, going to be able to support each other pretty well. So this, might take a little bit longer to break down for Stardust. The cannons finish just in time as the units come wandering out and take a few shots on that Zealot. So we'll see how long this contain lasts. We do have the natural coming down now for CrazyOp. Still no gas yet, so we're not working on our transition to Dark Templar. CrazyOp pushing a little bit, was able to take a Dragoon and the Zealot out by placing this pylon here, rather. I was able to coax those out. And now wanting to put down some more cannons, but not quite able to get close enough to where it wants to build, was able to place one. But now there are a few more Dragoons. They're going to go ahead and target down that new one. And just trying to thin out the number of cannons here. Able to do some damage. Going to go ahead and take some shots on the pylon. Not quite take it out, but then charge into the cannons. So those 4 cannons were able to keep the goon count a little bit low. But now the goon count, I think, is maybe getting a little bit too high for these cannons to be able to stop them. Yeah, it looks like, so going to be able to break this, and then is able to pump out some more. But what is CrazyOp doing back home? We are getting a 2nd gateway. We're getting our 2 gas, so we're not really getting anything to defend against the oncoming Dragoons, but they are being slowed down a little bit by these probes in the middle. Got another probe through, trying to rebuild some of the cannons here, but the reinforcements are able to take care of that before that can actually materialize for CrazyOp. And now the Dragoons are marching in to the natural, going to shut down the natural, at least for now, forcing those probes into a retreat. We do have more cannons under construction, but unfortunately they're all the way over there instead of where Stardust's army is. So Stardust's army able to take out the Nexus for the natural, and now marching into the main here. The probes having to be pulled for defense, but we only got our Citadel of Adun. I don't see the Templar Archive, so I don't think the Dark Templar are going to be able to hold this off for CrazyOp. There is a Dragoon, but not wanting to engage lets the Nexus fall. CrazyOp does have the resources to replace the Nexus, but unfortunately I think the rest of the base is going to fall and it's not going to be able to. Meanwhile, there is some cleanup happening of these pylons, and with the main base falling and the natural being cleaned up as well, CrazyOp is going to go ahead and tap out. So with that, Stardust will advance to the next round of the winner's bracket, up 3-0 against CrazyOp. And CrazyOp will, as I said earlier, go down to the loser's bracket to face off against Steamhammer. For the second match here of today, we have the number 4 seed Monster, spawning as the purple Zerg up at the top of Destination, going up against HalPond, spawning as the teal Terran down at the bottom of the map. The loser of this match is going to drop down to the loser's bracket to face off against Ironbot, while the winner will go on and face Stardust. So we have HalPond here going for a proxy barracks, a little off to the side of the middle of the map here. We'll see if that ends up paying off for him, putting it slightly out of the typical scouting path, perhaps. The Overlord, I believe, is going to miss this, though it does make a turn back here, perhaps looking for a proxy, or closer proxy over here. So this position might help out. It is going to see the SCV go ahead and head up. Let's see, we do have the supply depot back home going down. Looking at the production tab here, the Zerglings are about to spawn, but the bunker should be done in time. But will there be a Marine? The SCV, though, is leaving it alone, getting some shots off there. One Marine against these Zerglings without repair. Oh, now the repair, but it's a little too late. If that SCV had just hung around, it could have repaired that longer, and there would have been enough time, I think, for the reinforcement Marines to get there, but unfortunately these Zerglings are going to be able to clean this up now. It does look like we might be seeing a transition out of this by HalPond. The Marines doing their best to keep the Zerglings from getting to the main, which is going to be undefended, but now they're going to go ahead and leave that mostly hurt Marine behind. And the Zerglings are going to run in here. We're going to need to see some really good worker defense here from HalPond to be able to keep in this game, taking a lot of damage, taking some losses, but also managed to keep that SCV alive, but instead of turning in the gas, going ahead and just making them straight into mineral miners. The Zerglings came down, took out that Marine, and then they went and backed off. Okay, we're taking out this barracks. I really want to see that lift. Come on, lift it, lift it. Oh, a little close there, so now it is burning down. But it should be okay, but it looks like we didn't spend any money on anything, so now the Zerglings are back in the base here, and I think this is going to be it for Monster. We're losing most of the SCVs at this point now, so there the factory starts, but it's too little too late. Monster with the nice win there. I think this play by HalPond had a chance to win there if the SCV had not left the bunker. Leaving that bunker just gave it a ton of time to take damage from those Zerglings, although it still might not have succeeded even if it had been there, but well played, well defended by Monster, and then the bunker lands, allowing the Zerglings to finish it. So Monster goes up 1-0, and we'll go ahead and get into Game 2. So Game 2 sees us on Andromeda, with Monster spawning as the red Zerg down at the bottom left of the map, and HalPond spawning as the blue Terran down on the bottom right. And since we have another bottom right map, I'm going to go ahead and remove the overlay for this match, and we'll go ahead and cover up the time slider with something else. So it looks like we do see another early scout coming out of HalPond, so I'm wondering if we're going to see another proxy, and we are. Interestingly placed barracks, though. It is close to home, so we can transition to our defense pretty easily, but if we get scouted by a drone, perhaps, you know, that's going to be pretty easily seen. But if it is an Overlord scout, I suppose it most likely would miss this proxy. And the Overlord scout is going for a cross scout here. So this drone, though, has a chance of seeing it if it goes to the right, but instead it goes to the left, so Monster will not see this one coming. Let's see where HalPond goes ahead and places the bunker. I'm hoping it places it up on the high ground. Does scout. And interesting movements here. We don't have a bunker. We are attacking the extractor, though. And no bunker got placed down, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. We had the money for it. And now the Marines, now we see the chase of the Marine trying to stall these Zerglings, but the Zergling's going to be able to take care of this relatively quickly. Now we do have a bunker under construction back home, so we will be able to retreat, possibly have the high ground, but that is a long path to repair, so hopefully, and I think there's only one Marine in that, so hopefully these SCVs will not abandon station here. We're getting a second bunker, but it's going to have to be forced canceled. The Zergling's easily able to take out that SCV that was repairing, and yeah, just not enough Marines in the bunkers. Zergling's going to go ahead and quickly clean this main up. Monster taking a quick commanding lead, 2-0. I'm not sure what happened there with the HalPond's logic. It just did not get a bunker. Or an offensive bunker, I should say. And then when it got the defensive one, it just did not load it with Marines. So we'll go ahead and just as quickly get into Game 3. So Game 3 sees us with Monster spawning as the Teal Zerg on the bottom left of Fighting Spirit, and HalPond spawning as the Yellow Terran up at the top right of the map. So I'm going to keep an eye on the production tab to see what Monster's up to, and I wanted to keep an eye on HalPond. It looks like we are seeing another very quick SCV, so it looks like, yep, we're going to see another proxy. This is something I feel a little bit different in these games for this year compared to last year, is that last year I think we saw more, and I'm not saying that nobody is doing variety, but I think we saw more variety in builds, whereas, you know, the game from that I last casted with Steamhammer did the same build every time, and now this time we're seeing HalPond do the same build 3 times in a row. So I'm not sure if that's perhaps a shift in the tournament meta to try and keep things more consistent using the same build against the same opponents, or if something else is going on here. But I suspect this probably was a 9 pull with speed, or with Gask to get speed, is going to be able to count us, especially because HalPond has not found Monster yet, I don't believe. And now we're going to find the Zerglings. We don't have a bunker. We did try to place a bunker, but it was very quickly taken care of by some Zerglings. And yeah, it looks like the army is just in disarray. We are not getting any sort of defensive structures at the moment, but it is a pretty big map. The Marines are doing a decent job of playing, but that Marine was kind of running back toward home. Now the barracks is going to be under attack and force the lift pretty soon here, unless it just falls. Now we have no military construction, and unfortunately it's going to go, and I just realized I did not turn the overlay back on. Go ahead and do that now. And yeah, Monster's going to go ahead and move on to the winners bracket, again to face Stardust, while HalPond is going to drop down into the losers bracket, round 2, to face, I believe it was Ironbot, if I'm remembering right, and if I'm wrong, I will correct myself in the next match. Our third match of tonight has us watching Banana Brain spawning as the blue Protoss at the bottom of Python, and Marion spawning as the Teal Zerg up at the top of the map. So we've got cross spawns here, which means we have a shorter rush distance than we could have on this map. The winner of this match will go ahead and face the winner of Beta Star versus Purple Wave, whichever one ends up coming up on top there. And the loser will be dropping down to the losers bracket to fight against Chao Yi for survival in the tournament. So we have Banana Brain here plopping down a expansion pylon and a forge. So we're seeing a forge fast expand here. We did see, I think, a drone scout. Yep, and then so it scouted the neighbor base, did not find anything, and now it's going to go ahead and turn down here to the base that Banana Brain is at. See that it's a forge fast expand, and just kind of check things out with its drone, see what's going on, and maybe decide to head home. Nope, okay, it's just going to chill around with it, and that's perfectly fine. We've got a, what is, based on the worker count, looks like a 12 hatch. We've got actually a third hatchery somewhere. Where is that hatchery? Oh, all the way over here at this natural. Okay, so we're doing a double expand here, which is something that I don't think I've seen bots do in a while. Now our spawning pool is down. We're still droning up here. No gas yet, so we won't have fast speedlings out for a while, but that should be fine. There's not going to be any sort of real offensive threat from Banana Brain for a little bit here, so slow Zerglings should do just fine. Our Zerglings are under construction. We've now got a 4th hatchery coming down. And where is that one? Good bot. Okay, so we're at the 2nd natural that we're taking here. So we're going for a very aggressive Zergling build here. Well, maybe not necessarily aggressive Zergling build. You know, we could be using our larva for drones, so I'm just kind of watching that production tab to try and see what we're doing. Banana Brain getting the Stargate, so we'll probably see some Corsair out soon. We're getting our lair, as well as some creep colonies. I don't see an evolution chamber yet, so I'm just kind of watching now as that Stargate finishes if we'll see a Corsair come down or not. We do have our Hydralisk den starting, so we'll be able to get that anti-air. We do have the Corsair started now, and we can see the Corsair is under construction here. Meanwhile, back at the base, we do have a creep colony. This base, nothing at the natural, though now a creep colony is started there. The lair just finishes up, and we've got our Huntress under construction, so we should be okay from the Corsair, which is now out. I'm going to go ahead. I don't know why there were 2 Overlords down here. That's going to hurt a bit on the supply, as Marion is now supply blocked, unfortunately. And the Corsairs are going to go out and hunt. We do have a few Hydralisks, though, that have been built. Don't see an Evo chamber yet, and it looks like I don't know where the Hydras are. I'm trying to find them here, as the Corsairs are now just sort of rocking the Overlords. And I don't know where the Hydras are. They hatched. There's 3 of them. But they are nowhere to be found right now. They are taking a vacation, I guess. But here they come now to defend this Overlord here. So losing a lot of resources to the... Can I get that to unselect? Oh, now it's just a problem. But now it's just a 1 letter, so I can live with that. Yeah, now we're going off over here. Still no evolution chamber. We're getting a ton of sunken colonies, which is just weird to see. These Corsairs just having their way. I guess we're getting the sunken colonies now because the army for Banana Brain is moving out. And yeah, it should be able to handle this with relative ease. Marion just very much supply blocked here. Finally got that N unselected. Gonna be able to take out this 3rd base. Rather strange build from Marion, I would say. We've got some dancing Hydralisks there. That was interesting. Just in place. Just dancing away as the base gets destroyed. Unfortunately, I mean, Hydras can work as your anti-air, but you know, you need them to be where your Overlords are. And if they're not there, then they're not going to be able to really defend them. And so Banana Brain just able to get that supply block. And while it's building up its own army, it looks like it's taking the bottom right base as a 3rd right now. So it's macroing behind, expanding behind this attack. These Corsairs and these Hydras seem to be having this weird standoff here where they're just kind of staring each other down. And so we'll see... Yeah, there's the cleanup here. Marion Deveka not able to do much in this game. Hoping for a better game too. Looks like it wants to send some drones out, but thought better of it and pulled them back. But in the end, they're probably going to meet their end here anyway. Just take a look at Banana Brain's base. We have a 4th that just finished up. The Citadel of Adun is under construction. We do have the observatory. Let's see. We aren't getting any upgrades. It looks like no ground or shield weapons, but yeah, and with that, Banana Brain will take this one up. 210. There is a building somewhere. Oh, there's a hatchery that got snuck out here and morphed into a lair that I missed, but with that, Banana Brain will move up 1-0. And so game 2 has us on circuit breakers with Banana Brain spawning at the bottom left as the orange Protoss, and Marion getting the cross position here, but the top right as the white Zerg. So I'm gonna kind of curious as to if both bots are going to take the same approach, kind of like what we've been seeing this tournament, or if perhaps Marion will mix it up a little bit, because it seemed to have some problems there with that Corsair, or with the Corsairs rather, with that Hydralisk build to try and counter it. And we are seeing, it looks like another fast expand by Banana Brain here, with the pro come down. Yep, I was expecting that to be a forge, which it is. Just watching the drone count right now. We've got a drone coming down. Yep, so this will be a 12 hatch there. Or actually an 11 hatch, sorry. For Marion. Now we're up to the 12 workers, and we got the Overlord scouting down. We've got the drone also coming to scout down. And we've got the Overlord scouting. I wonder if that's how 2 Overlords in Banana Brain's base is that, you know, one went here, one went here, and then went over here. And they both go over there then. I like this, the drone attacking the pylon here. Banana Brain deciding to get the Nexus before getting any cannons. And we'll now go ahead and get a cannon, and as soon as that starts to morph, the drone goes ahead and backs off, which is right before that pylon ran out of shield, so I don't think it took any life damage. Marion is going for this double expand opener again, which I think has some potential here, but it really needs to get that evolution chamber and get some spore colonies up and protect its overlords that way, I think. Or, pardon me, or get that overlord, or sorry, those hydralisks into better positions to defend its overlords. Now we do have the assimilator coming down for Banana Brain here. The slow Zerglings are out, and they're going to come down here and see the front, decide to not go in. Probably a wise decision there. We'll engage with this Zealot, but the Zealot will run back to the cover of the cannon. Now with a Zealot brother in arms here, I'm going to go ahead and chase those Zerglings out and stand kind of weirdly back, but perhaps it's to try and pincer the Zergling army should they try to make a move on this wall. Based on that little movement there, I think that is what they're doing. So go ahead and chase those Zerglings. And the Zerglings kind of trying to see if there's any kind of opening that they can take advantage of. Meanwhile, behind this, the lair is morphing. We have more drones. Our Hydralisk den is completed. We're getting the Hydralisks right around the time that the Corsairs are coming out. There is already one out that I missed get produced. So we'll just go ahead and watch the army count for a minute here. We've got a Hydralisk out. We've got 2 Corsairs out. They clean up the scouts, which is going to hurt. Marion's already supply blocked with that, which is really unfortunate to see. It just throwing away those 2 overlords. And now in the base, again, the Hydralisk's nowhere to be seen. They're down here for some reason, bugging out real bad. So I'm not sure what's going on there with that that control for Marion, but it's really unfortunate because now we've got these 3 bases and all of our minerals are going to overlords, and all of our overlords are just getting decimated because we don't have an evolution chamber, we don't have a spore colony, there's nowhere safe for these overlords, and the Hydralisks are dancing. They're literally dancing in place. Now, I might be wrong on this, but I think Marion, also known as Killer Bot, is a bot that has one of my favorite clips where there were carriers just out of range of the Hydralisks, and there was a big Hydralisk army and its own base dancing, trying to figure out a way to get to the carriers, and then just all of a sudden, they just attack each other, kill each other, the Hydralisks, and then the bot times out. One of my favorite clips. I think that might be Marion Deveka, but I could be wrong on that. Either way, though, it looks like it is having some trouble controlling those Hydralisks that it gets, allowing the Corsairs to have free reign of the sky, take out all of the overlords, force Marion to spend all of its minerals on those overlords, and still not break the supply block. So the 3rd easily gets cleaned up. There is a 4th down here, but I don't think we're going to see too much from it. Banana Brain is going to go ahead and perhaps move up to the natural now with this 4th having not been found just yet. Probe finally getting taken out. Hydralisk's chasing down this observer now. So now, if you can hold this, if Marion can hold this, then I think there's a chance for it to come back with that 4th base left undisturbed in the bottom right, but I don't think Marion has what it's going to take to hold this. As the Sunkets are falling pretty quickly, the drone count is now down to 9. Wow, Banana Brain's worker count is up to 70. Banana Brain is getting its 4th and 5th base, I think, or no, 4th base rather. There was an expansion made over here by Marion in the meantime that is now being cleaned up. And yeah, Marion now up to 12 workers, but I don't think it's got enough to really last. Corsairs still having free reign on these overlords, pretty much 29 max supply, while meanwhile Banana Brain has 172 for its max supply. And yeah, Now the army's coming to knock on the natural again. Losing a lot of dragoons, but really it's got the macro and the workers. It's got over 15k minerals, so it can easily just sort of A-move its army if it really wanted to into this. And now the natural fall is going to go ahead up into the main here. As the drones, and it sounds like some larvae were getting killed. Like the nice Reaver shuttle micro that's happening here. The hatcheries are going to fall now. Now the extractor is going to fall. This Overlord being found by the Corsairs. Pretty soon this bottom right base will most likely be found. We do have one Hydralisk here that is dancing next to the sunken colony. So yeah, I'm not sure if Marion received any updates prior to this tournament. I can't remember offhand. But yeah, it looks like it is really struggling with that Hydralisk control, which is something that I don't think I've seen from Marion before. So I am a little bit surprised by that. Now this drone that was trying to peek out is going to be found. Stardust army, we can see on the minimap, just sort of converges at that point down into this area. It was searching for this last base and now has found it. We've even got the Dark Templar out, and with that, Banana Brain is going to go up 2-0 in this series. So let's go ahead and jump into Game 3. So Game 3 with Banana Brain up 2-0. We're on Heartbreak Ridge here with Banana Brain spawning as the Teal Protoss over on the right of the map, and Marion spawning as the Brown Zerg on the left. So I'm wondering if Marion is going to do that same sort of double expand on a 2-player map, as opposed to a 4-player map. So I'm really happy to see a 2-player map get chosen in this matchup here. So I'm just kind of watching the drone count, seeing what we're going to have happen, expecting perhaps... We don't have a spawning pool yet, but we don't have the money for it either. Or we did get an Overlord though, so that's why we didn't have the money for the spawning pool yet. So it looks like we are going to go for like an 11 or 12 hatchery of some sort here. And this one I think is going to go down and, yep, gonna sit there until we got the money and then go ahead and build the hatchery. And it looks like we are going for a 2-gate build here. As opposed to a fast expand, which is probably a wise choice on a 2-player map, and a sort of small one at that. So we are also getting now a second pylon here. We have our first Zealots underway. Hopefully Marion sees the 2 gateways and knows that something aggressive will be coming, and will not go for some sort of double expand here. It does look like it's only going to expand at the 1 base. As we are getting a spawning pool here. We don't have gas yet. Okay, and it looks like, all right, we are getting 2 creep colonies here, so that may be in response to the double gates. So getting ready for a bit stronger of a defense. And the Zerglings are out and going off on the map. We still don't have our gas yet, which is a little bit surprising. Oh, okay, it is coming down now. Zealots are on their way across the map, chasing the Zerglings back. Gonna run into the Sunkens though. I don't think this is enough Zealots quite to crack this, but should be up. And we're just running right past the Sunkens. Didn't think about that. The Zerglings were not in position to stop that or slow that down. The Zealots now have free reign in the main. This is not good for Marion. I think Marion got took surprised by this. I got taken by surprise by this. Down to 3 that's army, 10 workers now. The spawning pool is going to fall. We're trying to get some drones made and out, but unable to do so. We're getting our lair before the spawning pool died, so, but we're not going to be able to do much with that lair tech without the spawning pool. So now the main is falling. Banana Brain has expanded behind this. There was a little bit of a fight here that we seem to have missed with the Zerglings. But everything is okay in the end up here. More Zealots are coming in. We're reestablishing our gas. We have not got our sunken colony, or sorry, not our sunken, but our creep colony, but our spawning pool back up. And now we're going to go ahead and run in and target the drones, which I like. You've knocked out your opponent's main. If you can just kill those drones, even if you don't win this fight, you're going to win the war. Now Marion is down to 2 workers. So at this point, essentially, Banana Brain has this game in the wraps. That run by, I was just not expecting that to happen. Really, it needed to use its Zerglings to prevent that by just jamming up this space here so that way the Zealots would take more shots. Probably also needed a sunken back into main. The Corsairs are out now, so going to go ahead and clean up the Overlords. Marion going to try and retake the main, but at this point, Banana Brain has just shifted some of its focus from building army to macroing, and so that's why we're kind of seeing a smaller army right now. Going ahead and running past the Sunkens again to clean up this morphing hatchery. Gonna go ahead and take care of that quite handily. So Marion trying to rebuild, but just not able to do so because it still has the issue of allowing those Zealots to run past. They are going to let that Zerg morph though, or that egg morph. But the drone, instead of hanging up there, is going to come back down here. And they're all going to get cleaned up. There are some Overlords, so the Dark Templar are exposed, but of course they're going to come in, whoops, and try and clean that up for Banana Brain here. And now Dark Templar, as the Protoss campaign makes them out to be, the one thing that can stop the Zerg, well, they're doing it here. And so with that, Banana Brain's going to take this series 3-0, and we'll move on to face the winner of Beta Star against Purple Wave, with Marion dropping down to face Xiao Yi. And our final match of today has the 3rd seeded Beta Star going up against the 6th seeded Purple Wave. Beta Star spawning as the blue Protoss in the top left of La Mancha, and Purple Wave spawning as the yellow Protoss up at the top right of the map. The winner of this match will go on to face Banana Brain, who we just saw knock Marion down to the loser's bracket. And the loser of this match will drop down to face Dragon in the loser's round 2. So we have, looks like a 1-base play by Purple Wave and Beta Star as well, and both scouting in the proper directions to find each other first, with Purple Wave scouting a little bit sooner than Beta Star. So we have both our gateways about the same kind of timing here. Looks like Purple Wave is made up workerish. No, actually Beta Star's workers are a little bit faster. Beta Star is also getting its assimilator now, which Purple Wave is not yet. And I believe that is because Purple Wave has got a few, or is getting a Zealot before Banana Brain was, or sorry, Beta Star. And now Beta Star is getting that Zealot, but also has its Cybernetics core out. And it looks like, oh, okay, so Purple Wave was actually saving to go ahead and expand off of this one gate. And I'm curious to see if Beta Star is going to start pumping. Oh, Beta Star is actually going for some tech here. I don't know if Purple Wave has actually seen this Citadel or not. The probe seems to be a bit afraid to actually travel into base, so I don't know if Purple Wave is going to see this tech coming. Okay, so it has to have seen the Citadel now. Meanwhile, the Cybernetics core is complete. The Templar Archives is now down for Beta Star, so it looks like we're going to see a Dark Templar rush here. I don't know if Purple Wave is going to be getting any detection in time, though. I don't see a Forge come down yet. Okay, now the Forge is coming down for Purple Wave, but there's no pylon at the natural, so Dark Templar could still shut down that natural. There's also only one Zealot here, which is going to get overpowered by this Zealot in Dragoon. And now, really, this Dragoon just picking off the probes that are trying to run back into the main. Behind this, I don't actually see a Dark Templar under construction. Even though the Templar Archives is down, we have the natural is being taken, we've got some cannons going down, so that's a bit strange to me that we went ahead and got the tech for Dark Templar and then just did not get them. But now we do have a cannon coming down for Purple Wave, so this natural should be relatively safe. The Dark Templar could run past, but now we are getting a cannon in main. So I'm curious now what Beta Star is going to do. So he is switching into taking its natural, but Purple Wave is going to be a little bit ahead here, I think, because basically Beta Star invested in that tech and didn't do anything with it. So Beta Star kind of put itself behind there. It might have got a little bit overexcited with that opportunity where it had the Zealot and Dragoon against just the Zealot of Purple Wave, and kind of let that opportunity flounder. And now Purple Wave is growing the larger army here. I think only up by 1 Dragoon though, so not too much bigger. But where we might see a difference is in economy. Although Beta Star actually does have more workers than Purple Wave. So Purple Wave, I think it might be putting more into army right now, while Beta Star is kind of putting a bit more into its tech. Or sorry, not its tech, but its economy. Citadel of Adun is about to finish up here for Purple Wave. Very nice formation of the Dragoons here, and I like how they adjust as a new one comes in. So now they're trying to adjust as yet another new one comes in, and now they're going to go on the move. Beta Star letting them come across this bridge. Really could have used that bridge to its advantage, but choosing instead to fight in the open here, but getting a nice arc regardless and able to repel Purple Wave back across the bridge. So Purple Wave is going to fall back into this defensible position here. Again, could have set up a concave along the bridge, but not doing so now. Attempting to cross again, but now this time engaging on the bridge. A very strong position for Beta Star being on the edge, but now moving across. Pushing Purple Wave again back into its natural. The Templar Archives almost complete for Purple Wave. Wondering if we will see Dark Templar on the field at any point in this game. Both have the tech for it, and we do see at least our first Dark Templar being produced now. Now we also see a few Zealots coming into the mix, but Beta Star holding a strong position with this bridge. Really, Purple Wave could start shifting into taking this expansion down here and perhaps holding this bridge. But instead we're just kind of seeing a back and forth here. Beta Star getting a portion of its army across the bridge, but now Purple Wave being in the stronger position, cleaning up that army and going for an expansion perhaps at this natural here. Meanwhile, the army is marching across. Beta Star retreating all the way back into its natural, which is a bit surprising for me because now Purple Wave able to set up this nice arc and get the shots off. It also has the Dark Templar, which maybe that's why Beta Star ran back all the way, and then it realized, well, now you're in my natural, so now I've got to fight. Purple Wave just trying to do as much damage as it can before there's any detection. The robotics facility just finishing for Beta Star, so Beta Star still going to have to get these observers. It is putting down a cannon though, so once that's done, there will be detection. Hopefully the Dark Templar will shift their attention to the cannon because they could stop it. They could stop it from coming up, but instead they're just focusing on these Dragoons. Purple Wave, meanwhile, is macroing its army back up, getting the High Templar as well. High Templar moving up into the main, but we do have the observatory down, and the observers are coming down now, or coming out rather, so going to have that mobile detection, but a lot of workers have been lost. Beta Star was up not that long ago, higher than Purple Wave, but now down to just 25, almost half of what Purple Wave has. Now Purple Wave with the macroed up army. I don't quite think it's going to be strong enough to take this army at the moment, but hopefully it's going to be able to out macro in the end. A nice storm there on the Dragoons. It doesn't kill a lot of them, but it does, or any of them really, but it does do a lot of damage to the shields. And now having to fall back to this bridge, but trying to stay across this so that way the reinforcements can get across and have a nice fight. And we could just see from the production that economic damage that was done by Purple Wave and those Dark Templar, just the production queue for Purple Wave is so much longer than for Beta Star. And Beta Star being forced to put all of its resources into army, not getting the opportunity to reestablish its economy. So Purple Wave in a really strong position here, and it looks like that third it took is actually all the way at the other main, forcing this army, pushing it back to the natural. Very strong play here from both of these bots, but the Dragoons just kind of being a bit undecisive there for Beta Star. And now Purple Wave getting into this natural with an army that can actually take it at this point. Nice storm there, taking out the Observer. Very cool move to see that. You don't have any detection of your own, and you can't detect that Observer, so your Dragoons can't take it out, but you can still storm it. And now the more reinforcements just flooding in here. The Trones, the main is mined out. Oh, nice storms there. Picking off a good chunk of those probes, I believe. And now, out of workers, with just 500 minerals left. Purple Wave taking out the last cannon. And now it's just on cleanup duty. So very exciting game there to see how that played out, too. That was just a great matchup. The play across the bridges and then the Dark Templar usage, targeting down those probes and hurting that economy. And I mean, Beta Star had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like at least 10 gateways, but was only able to produce out of 4 of them because of all those probes that it lost. So just Excellent play by Purple Wave, and I am excited to get into game 2 here once Purple Wave has cleaned up this main. I'm still curious about why Beta Star got that Dark Templar tech and then just never used it. Kind of strange to see. I'm actually going to check the upgrades really quick here too. So both are at 1 attack. Purple Wave is getting its level 2 attack and did get Zealots because it also started to mix Zealots in. Cool game. So Purple Wave now up 1-0 with us going into game 2 here on Circuit Breakers. Beta Star spawning as the blue Protoss down at the bottom left, and Purple Wave spawning as the red Protoss up at the top right. And I just had to double check the history between these two bots in last year's tournament, and I was right in what I said when I casted last week. Beta Star, when they first met up with Purple Wave in the winner's bracket, won their match 3-1, knocking Purple Wave down to the loser's bracket, and then Purple Wave battled all the way back into the finals where it beat Beta Star 3-0, and then had to play Beta Star again since that was Beta Star's first loss, and took it 3-0. So Purple Wave now up 1 game. Now, when Beta Star knocked Purple Wave out of the winner's bracket last year, Purple Wave did take 1 game out of that series. So we'll see if history will repeat itself here, if Beta Star can battle back, or will Purple Wave go ahead and make today's cast a clean sweep 3-0 for all of the bots that advance. Now we do have the Cybernetics core coming down for Beta Star. Looks like Purple Wave is doing the same build where it goes that 1 gate into an expansion here. And I'm just kind of trying to see if... So we have the same build coming out of Beta Star, where we're getting the Cybernetic, or the Citadel of Adun, rather. So I'm wondering if it will actually do something with the Dark Templar this time. So we'll just keep an eye on that on the production tab here. The first Dragoon is out though. Oh, it actually canceled the Citadel this time. I'm pretty certain it didn't cancel the last time, because I'm pretty sure I saw a Templar Archives come down, but I might be wrong. So that might actually be a fake out. Interesting. Okay. And now we do have another gateway coming down along with an expansion here. And then we have this fight again with just the 1 Zealot. The Forge is going to finish here, though. It seems like the Forge might be a little bit later in this game for Purple Wave than it was in the last, but I think if Purple Wave can minimize the probe loss here, it is falling a little bit behind. And now it does have its 2 Dragoons out. Let's just check here. Its range is going to finish actually before Beta Stars. And it's actually up workers now, so could have been further ahead, but it did lose a few probes, but able to repel that attack very handily. Now we're going ahead, and it looks like we're getting a few cannons up at the front to defend, because we do think that Dark Templar rush is coming, that it's not. And now I'm really starting to think that I had missed that cancel of the Citadel of Adun, but I'm almost certain I saw Templar Archives being built by Beta Star before in that first game. And so we're getting our 2 gateways, so we're going up to 4 gateways here for Purple Wave. Looks like Beta Star is going to be joining it as well, getting its 4th gateway now. So it looks like we're going to be in rather similar states here. So there's a good chance it's going to come down to micro and sort of what these bots macro behind it. The 4th gateway has now finished for Beta Star. 5th gateway is starting, so it looks like Beta Star is going to try and play very aggressive here off these 2 bases, which is sort of what we saw last game, where I forget how many I counted, but it was a large number of gateways. We're getting another... Or actually, we're getting our Citadel of Adun rather forward, which is a bit odd. A bit risky, too, because we could easily lose that Citadel in their fight, but we are getting now a 5th gateway and another pylon here. These Dragoons trying to see if there's something that they can do to poke in here. These Dragoons pretty nicely positioned. Now Beta Star testing the waters a little bit, losing more Dragoons than Purple Wave did. Purple Wave is getting its, or actually Beta Star rather is getting its +1 attack. Now we do have nice concave there by Beta Star. And that's one thing that I'm noticing sort of here is that the retreating bot tends to stop and get a nice concave while the advancing bot will then be fired on. So one of the cannons falling, not that big of a deal. This probe trying to sneak out here to maybe get an expansion, but not quite certain it can go. And I'm going to go ahead and fall back. Now Purple Wave getting across the bridge, but being kind of split, not able to get a good arc. Gonna go ahead and have to fall back. Beta Star now pushing back into this. Beta Star now with the higher tech cube, or building creation cube, whatever you want to call it. But Purple Wave is about to have Dark Templar on the field, and I don't think there is any detection for Beta Star. Beta Star does have the Forge, but there's no pylon here at the natural. And now Purple Wave pushing its advance here. And now Beta Star, just like the last game, is very much retreating. Some of the army is getting delayed with a few of these, but there is a Dark Templar here that is advancing now. There is a pylon finishing in this natural. As soon as it finishes, a cannon is started, but this army needs to get in there and needs to start hitting this natural and shut it down. Probes are being lost. And now the army is hitting it and is targeting the natural, which is what Purple Wave needs to do here. He needs to hit this economy and hurt it badly, bringing down that worker count for Beta Star. Targeting, get the cannon. Oh, if you had targeted the cannon, you could have got it. Beta Star able to stabilize a little bit here. Did take some damage though, so now Purple Wave forced to retreat, and the observers are going to be out. So Beta Star in a better position this time. After that push from Purple Wave, but now Purple Wave coming back. Its army is a bit scattered though across the map, so not quite there. The numbers are in Beta Star's favor maybe, with the Dragoon count, and this bridge is doing Purple Wave no favors. But if it would fight here, it could have a chance. But letting Beta Star get too far across that bridge, so this game is not looking good. The army kind of scattering as it retreats. Purple Wave looking like it's going to be in a bit of trouble here. The High Templar are out now. It needs to hold this bridge instead of fighting on it. Nice storm there, doing a lot of shield damage. The Zealots rather are coming out, but Beta Star just having the stronger army this time, pushing Purple Wave back into his natural. Looks like Beta Star might be able to take this game here. Purple Wave not able to get a third base established this time. Yeah, and Beta Star now is going to tie this one up 1-1. Very exciting game. It looked like Purple Wave just wasn't quite able to do the damage that it needed to in that natural, perhaps because of the long distance. Beta Star had time to get that cannon up. Also, too, sort of the decision making and the targeting there. Purple Wave sort of left that let that cannon finish. It could have cleaned up that cannon and stayed in that natural a bit longer, perhaps even taking out the Nexus. But yeah, Beta Star able to withstand the Dark Templar, has taken a third behind this. Good game by Beta Star to tie it up. Purple Wave hanging in there until the last building falls. With that, it is now 1-1. And so our third game here between these two has Beta Star spawning as the white Protoss over on the right of Heartbreak Ridge, with Purple Wave being the orange Protoss over on the left here. So this has a bit shorter of a distance, I think, between the bases than our last map. So if we see the same builds, it'll be interesting to see if Purple Wave is able to deal that economic damage that it did in Game 1 in order to take the lead. And really, so I've been talking about how a lot of these bots have been doing like the exact same build for every game that they're playing. I would not blame Purple Wave for doing that because it worked in game 1. It has the chance to work if it can deal the damage that it needs to, and while deflecting the damage that it might take during that initial push. We have the exact same production queue right now from both bots, which is kind of funny. Maybe just seconds apart, really. Gateway is going to finish for Purple Wave here. Actually, the fact that I think we've got a gas for Purple Wave already, I think we're seeing a different build here. Yeah, as we're getting the cybernetics core now. Now another gateway. We might be seeing like a 4-gate from both of these, a 1-base 4-gate. So that would be kind of exciting to see, you know, which one can out-micro the other. We do have a Zealot for Purple, or for Beta Star, which Purple Wave for went. And now, so he's going to have his Dragoon out first. But Beta Star's going to have the slightly stronger army because it does have that Zealot, which is chasing down this probe. Able to take it out. So now the Citadel of Adun is finishing. So we're not seeing a 4-gate, really. Templar Archives is down. I wonder if we will see... Oh, okay, so they're both getting their Templar Archives, so they're both going Dark Templar. It might be a base race here. Although Beta Star's Forge has started before Purple Waves. So let's see if Beta Star actually gets... Beta Star is getting the Dark Templar this time, so we've got 2 Dark Templar coming down. And now Purple Wave, Dark Templar are coming as well. But Beta Stars are finished first. But Purple Wave getting the cannon before Beta Star gets their cannon. I was about to say I'm getting 2 cannons, but they're actually just getting another probe. So now the Dark Templar are out for Purple Wave. The Dark Templar are going to pass each other here. And Purple Wave just doesn't care about those Dark Templar. Pretty interesting move here to try and get your natural when you don't have any mobile detection. So that's going to get shut down. But meanwhile, this could also be shut down. But Purple Wave focusing on the army a little bit here. Got to target down those cannons and stop that. But the Dark Templar here kind of stopped by this cannon. But Purple Wave is doing the thing that we see bots often do, and sacrificing a probe to these Dark Templars ever so often. But it looks like Beta starts sacrificing more probes. Perhaps... Oh, all those workers. So, in this case, it looks like Purple Wave not getting its natural worked in Purple Wave's favor, because Purple Wave is only sending 1 probe at a time to these Dark Templar to try and take that base. Meanwhile, Beta Star, because this Nexus was here, was sending like 3-4 probes at a time to try and gather from this gas when it was not safe. So in the end, that kind of worked against Beta Star. Purple Wave, though, should have this one. While it can't take the win just at this moment, now it has the detection, so able to clear out those Dark Templar. You know, it's got 22 workers to Beta Star's 5. And it is clearing out the buildings that it can here, so Purple Wave is looking to go up 2-1 here. So very interesting play here. Both bots going for the Dark Templar play, and really, it was just Beta Star getting its natural up seemed like that was a advantage for Beta Star, but in the end, it ended up hurting it more than Purple Wave not getting its natural up. So another great game from both of these bots. And Purple Wave's going to go into game 4, 2-1. So game 4 here has Beta Star spawning as the Teal Protoss at the top left of Roadrunner, with Purple Wave as the White Protoss up at the top right. So we have ourselves a 4-player map here, but the distances are not too bad between the two. Wondering if we will have another Dark Templar race, or if we'll see You know, something similar to one of the first 2 games that we had here. Purple Wave looking to seal the deal this game, while Beta Star is fighting to stay alive here in the winner's bracket. If it loses again, there is the loser's bracket, so it will not be eliminated from the tournament. We do have our sort of mirror builds happening so far. We've got our first gateways down. We're getting our probes. Both are getting our gases. I'm strongly suspecting we're going to see another kind of Dark Templar race here, so really it could go either way for the bots. Our cybernetics cores are down. Purple Wave seems to be just a little bit behind on getting its gas. Getting another worker while up. Okay, now this time Purple Wave is going for a Zealot as well. Got a pylon coming down here for Beta Star. Purple Wave getting its pylon now. So Beta Star is getting its Citadel of Adun at this point. Purple Wave seems to be a little bit behind what Beta Star is doing, but I think we saw that last time too. Its Dark Templars came out a little bit after. Oh, okay, we're seeing another... Okay, now we're seeing the Citadel of Adun. So, Templar Archives already started. I don't know if Purple Wave knows that this build is coming from Beta Star, so this could be interesting to see how this plays out here. That probe was just waiting to get that Templar Archives started, but Purple Wave is a bit behind on the build this time compared to Beta Star. Beta Star is getting its second gateway still, though. So that timing is perhaps a little bit off in the build, but it is getting its Dark Templar faster. But now the Templar Archives and that is done. It's also getting a cannon this time, or it got a cannon somewhere, I think. Maybe that was that. That wasn't Purple Wave. Purple Wave does have a forge, though, so it can get a cannon if it needs to, which it is doing right up at the front. I thought I saw a cannon under construction for Beta Star, but guess I was wrong on that. Oh, it was in the mineral line. Okay, so it did get 2 cannons there. Now the Dark Templar are out for Purple Wave, and they're there. The Dark Templar are wreaking some havoc here in this natural. The Tricoon's not quite sure what to do. We are getting another cannon here. Both are getting the observatory. Now this is going to finish, whereas this isn't. So it looks like we're in a similar position here, where I think there's only one Dark Templar up here, though. So that might be a problem, but it is one-shotting the probes. So the observatory, though, is going to finish, but a lot of workers have been lost by Beta Star. This seems to be a hole in the armor, if you will, for Beta Star, is that it is sort of sacrificing these probes here. Purple Wave just has to target these probes and it can eat them all day. We're down to 14 probes. Now the observer is down, so that's going to shut this down here. This natural, though, is still being shut down by Beta Star, but now we do have an observer, so now Purple Wave can sort of move out. If it moves the observer down, Observer, you kind of have to... Observer, you kind of have to go down there. Please go down there, Observer. Oh no. Beta Star getting a little bit of a breathing room here. Purple Wave did throw some workers away here too. Purple Wave, for some reason, just not willing to throw... It has 2 observers there, and it is not taking them down there so that the army can clear out these Dark Templar, and I don't know why. Now... That observer getting sniped by the cannon and dragoons. So this is going to be a problem for Purple Wave here. Beta Star now back up to the same number of workers, able to work around that loss. I think this game is going to go for Beta Star. And it's too early to call for sure, but I don't know what happened here with Purple Wave. One of the Dark Templar there for Beta Star wandering a little too close. But Purple Wave just refusing to bring its observer down. And the observer for Beta Star doesn't want to get too close because the observers keep getting sniped. But yeah, I'm not sure. This is a strange game. Beta Star behind this is just going ahead and macroing, getting its economy up. At this point with the 2 bases, it's got the stronger economy. Purple Wave is just afraid. Okay, its observers are with the army now at least, so that's good, but they're not going down there to clear this one Dark Templar, this hero Dark Templar, promote him to Zeratul. Finally clearing that out, and now the army feeling comfortable to move out, but I think Beta Star, yeah, has the army to repel this. It's going to have the economy to out macro. We can see here, although it is falling back. I think its observer might have got picked off. Now its observer is there, but is getting picked off by Purple Wave. I like that. Purple Wave might actually be able to swing this now with its army on the loose, but the army kind of getting spread here by the two paths. But both are going strong. Beta Star falling back all the way to its natural. Wow, I did not think that this army would do this strong, but as soon as an observer comes out, the Dragoons just snipe it down, going after the cannons now and the probes. No detection on the, or there is now another observer out, so going to repel this, but wow, that was impressive by Purple Wave. I did not think that push was going to be to go that far, but at this point now, Beta Star is still up on the workers and going to be able to macro more powerfully than Purple Wave. So I think it's really going to come down to the engagements and the macros, still targeting down the observers, but there are no more Dark Templar out on the field for, okay, there is still one on the field for Purple Wave, but not able to snipe that observer. Now Beta Star doing the observer sniping, forcing that gas expenditure because those observers are expensive. Getting knocked back to the bridge here. Needs to sort of let Beta Star's forces clump up on the bridge. We do have the High Templar now out for Purple Wave. Purple Wave trying to take a third at the same time that Beta Star is also taking a third. Oops, helps if I click in the right spot. Purple Wave able to repel the attack thanks to the two bridges. Now moving out across them, trying to keep the pressure up on Beta Star. Nice couple of storms there dealing some damage. Looks like we're still keeping up with some Dark Templar production, but Beta Star able to kind of stop that from getting too far across the bridge. These two poor Dragoons getting caught on the wrong side of the bridge. Now Purple Wave not using the bridges to its advantage here. I don't see any observers. Up there's an observer coming in now. So the Dark Templar wisely kind of backing off. Not backing off. Okay, getting picked off by the Dragoons there. Massive production from both sides here as they're getting their third bases established here. There are some Dragoons though. Some of the army has come around. So really there's just fighting kind of on two fronts right now. I think Beta Star ultimately is trying to get to this base here. And some units are able to do so, but the part of the army that's trying to cross this bridge is having some issues. But it is keeping this third base from being really productive for Purple Wave, and I think that's reflecting in the production queue right now. Army count-wise, though, Beta Star is much stronger, but is just struggling, I think, with the terrain to really keep this fight going. And now, without the detection, not able to do anything about the Dark Templar that are in the army, being forced to fall back a bit here, but still has the greater numbers. Thing is, can Purple Wave stabilize and get a stronger macro than Beta Star at this point? I'm not really sure. Nice storms coming down there. Not doing too much damage, but still forcing those Dragoons back a bit, given the reinforcements time to get there. Able to get a strong hold. Oh, nice storms. Dragoons are falling. Tons of blue goop. Very nice storms there by Purple Wave, able to propel that, but we do have the second force here of Dragoons that do make their way to the third, forcing the probes to be pulled. Purple Wave able to minimize some of that worker loss, but Beta Star up to 75 workers to Purple Wave's 37. And now it looks like the army finally strong enough to bring down this third here. So I think the economic advantage of Beta Star finally is just enough to overcome this here. Going to try and get a storm there, but I don't think it's just going to be enough. Beta Star going to overrun this natural here. So that bit of a strange moment there where Purple Wave just did not want to move its observers out really cost it. It did the economic damage I think it needed to, but then it was unable to capitalize. Beta Star was able to restabilize, catch back up, and then get ahead because it had its natural. There's even a probe for some reason in the mix attacking an assimilator here. But yeah, those observers just did not want to leave. One final storm there. I'm gonna go ahead and take out a couple of Dragoons. But yeah, just the observers, for whatever reason, did not want to go into the natural. So that was very unfortunate to see for Purple Wave, but Beta Star, you know, is still credit to it because it really came back in this game. And even still after all of that, Purple Wave was able to stand toe-to-toe for quite a while. So Beta Star tying it up 2-2. We will go on to Game 5, the winner of which will continue on in the winner's bracket. Oh, wait, oh, sorry. There's an assimilator still. So our final game for today's cast has us watching Beta Star as the purple Protoss down at the bottom left of Andromeda, with Purple Wave as the blue Protoss up at the top right. So we've got another cross spawn here, but on a different map. So we've got pretty big distance here between the two opponents, which last time we had that did not work in Purple Wave's favor. So both these bots now will knock the other bot down to the loser's bracket with a win here. Purple Wave going ahead and scouting towards the bottom base, and Beta Star going ahead and scouting toward the top base. They're both going to scout each other twice, or second rather. We do have, it looks like, mirror builds so far. We've got gateways at about the same time, probes at about the same time. The Beta Star going for a pylon, or sorry, not a pylon, an assimilator, while Purple Wave is going for a second gateway. So I wonder if we're going to see this two gateway into expansion play that I believe we've seen earlier. So we're seeing another pylon come down while the cybernetics core comes down for Beta Star. Beta Star is getting a zealot, so he's one of them before getting the dragoon. Now, two zealots coming out for Purple Wave in a moment here. And I'm just curious to see if they're going to hold the ramp or aggressive. Looks like they are able to intercept the probe there. Beta Star looks like it might be going for a Dark Templar build here again, as we are getting the Citadel of Adun, but we have seen it cancel that Citadel of Adun, which it did not do so here. So it looks like we are going for Templar Archives is now under construction. I think it's towards the back of the base. So it looks like we will be seeing... We've got more zealots coming down here, targeting the probes. Which, in this case, I don't know if that's really going to be the advantageous thing here. I don't know if you've seen the Templar Archives. He is getting a robotics facility, so it is possible that Purple Wave has seen that and knows that it needs to get detection as soon as possible, because there are now Dark Templar out on the field. Just kind of watching to see where this Dark Templar goes. I don't think it was seen by the Zealot yet, so we'll just kind of watch it march across. The observatory is coming down. I don't know if it's going to get there in time or not. They do see the Dark Templar now, though. They are getting chased. Seems like they're maybe trying to slow down the approach. The observer is under construction, so Purple Wave really just needs to minimize the damage that it takes. The Dark Templar choosing to go after the pylon here. So Purple Wave should be able... It does have its observer out now, but where is its observer? There we go. Now it has cornered the Dark Templar and taken it out, so all we really lost was a pylon. But that does supply block us for a short bit here. And now Purple Wave going to be able to push out here. It does have the gateway advantage. It's actually getting, I think it's fourth gateway now. So it's one base against one base. Or going to be 4 gateways against 2. Purple Wave, I think, has the advantage in this situation. Beta Star trying to see if it can go ahead and take its natural. Purple Wave also deciding to do so. So Purple Wave not pushing its gateway advantage, gonna go ahead and back off and try to macro up. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that move, but at the same time, Purple Wave may not realize that it's actually up in gateways. Now, it is marching across here, being a bit bold with its observers here, but it has not seen an observer from its opponent yet, so perhaps feels that it is safe to march these guys in here. Gonna lose them to the cannons, not what you want to see, but it looks like Beta Star is not producing any more Dark Templar. But now I think with the loss of those observers, Purple Wave has just flipped the switch and decided to full-on retreat. Bit strange behavior that I think could cost Purple Wave the game. It really has the army, I think, to take this at the moment. And now it is re-engaging. Reinforcements are arriving. This natural is being shut down here. It is throwing 3 probes at a time, I think, to that gas. Which actually not destroying the natural outright is working in its advantage, because Beta Star is just offering up those workers. Now the 19 workers now, it looks like Purple Wave will take this. Another observer flying into the cannons. Beta Star holding it off a bit in the main, but now more reinforcements are pouring in. It's down to 11 workers, just sending more probes out to that base. One thing Beta Star could use here that I've not noticed before is really that threat awareness of, well, this base is under attack and not safe. I should not be sending my probes there to mine from that gas. It seems, I think it's the gas in particular that's causing the worker loss there. So Beta Star down to 3 probes. Really exciting series here between these two. And it looks like we've got a bit of a reversal from last year. Purple Wave knocking Beta Star down to the losers bracket to face Dragon. And gonna go ahead and move on to play another Protoss versus Protoss against Banana Brain. 3-2. Very exciting matchup here. Really could have gone either way in just about any of these games at any point. A lot of fun. That concludes the winners bracket round 2. We see Stardust and Monster move ahead to face each other, along with Banana Brain and Purple Wave. Interesting to note that including the matches next week, our Protoss players in the winners bracket will have only played against other Protoss and Zerg. All Terran players have fallen to the losers bracket at this point, and will be fighting to stay alive in the tournament. At least one of them will be eliminated for sure, as we will get a Terran vs Terran. And interesting to note, that TVT will be HalPond and Iron. HalPond is a fork from Iron, though that was quite some time ago, and so it has diverged a good bit since then. I want to thank you for joining us for today's cast. We have a lot of exciting games coming up next week, and until then, stay safe everyone. Take care.